This is part 3. I'm going to show you the date I believe the events of Revelation begin. You need to go back and watch parts 1 and 2 to understand what I'm showing here. I'm just going to go right into this. Lincoln City, Oregon was the first city in the path of totality of the Great American Eclipse on August 21st, 2017. I have 3 lines here: Lincoln City to Lincoln Memorial, Lincoln City to McCormick Place in Chicago, and the return line, Lincoln Memorial to McCormick Place. I believe the distances encoded here give the location of the Revelation earthquake and also encode the date the events of Revelation begin. If you're not familiar with my channel, I show the number coding from the book of Revelation, and specifically the Wormwood event from Revelation 8:11. And I believe the Wormwood event is a combination of the great earthquake from Revelation 6:12 and the nuclear flash or Apollyon the Destroyer from Revelation 9:11. And to figure out when the events of Revelation begin, I believe we use the events of 9/11 as a starting point. We are told the mastermind of the events of 9/11 were Osama bin Laden. He became the leader of Al-Qaeda on 8/11/1988. This was 13 years and 1 month before 9/11. This is a reference to Revelation 13:1, the 212th verse of Revelation. And the New York City area code is 212. And Abraham Lincoln was born on 212. So we use 9/11/2001 and the Lincoln Memorial as our starting points for time and distance to figure out the Revelation puzzle. My past few videos, I've shown Revelation and war rituals for December of 2018, and specifically December 18th, 2018. And I believe all the rituals for that date are a time ritual that point to the actual day the events of Revelation begin. The 1218th minute of the day is 2018, and without the 0 we have a 218, a very important number. 1361 is the 218th prime number, and 1361 is 955 in the base 12 number system. And I've shown the relationship between the base 10 and base 12 number system in my last video. And 955, I believe this is the key number to figuring out the Revelation puzzle. And that's what the number I'm going to show you in this video. I believe Revelation 6:12, the 108th verse of Revelation, also gives the timeline for the events of Revelation and when they begin. It references 2 eclipses. The first, the sun became black as sackcloth of hair. That references the Great American Eclipse on 8/21/2017. If you take the founding year, 1776, minus 8/21, we get the 955 again. And the moon became as blood. I believe this is a reference to the January 20th, 2019 blood moon. That will be 905 weeks and 5 days after 9/11. And without the 0, we have another 955. And that eclipse extends 108 minutes into January 21st, a reference to the Revelation 6:12, the 108th verse. You can see here that eclipse ends at 1:48 a.m. on the 21st. This is Central Time, and that's 108 minutes into the day. The Lincoln Memorial is located in Washington, D.C. in the 202 area code. 202, when you add the mirror to it, equals 404. And that's the number of total verses in Revelation. The 202nd prime number is 1231. And if we go from 9/11/2001 to 12/31/2019. That's 955 weeks. And I believe that this is the date the events of Revelation begin, December 31st, 2019. 955 weeks after 9/11. Some more eclipse rituals. There was a total lunar eclipse on December 21st, 2010. This is only the second eclipse in the Common Era to fall on a winter solstice. And Wikipedia gives us a timestamp of 8/11 Universal Time, a reference to Revelation 8/11 Wormwood. From December 21st, 2010 to the blood moon eclipse on January 21st, 2019, that's a total span of 8 years, 1 month, and 1 day as well for our Wormwood ritual. We had President Trump announce that we're returning to the moon on December 11th, 2017, and the span between 12/11/2017 and January 21st, 2019 is 58 weeks. And the reason this is important is because this falls in line with my 57 Moons of Revelation video that I did. The January 21st blood moon eclipse would be the 58th moon, the 58th full moon. And this video, those moons need to be extended out to 69 moons. And I'll show you why here. The planet Jupiter, we are told it has 69 moons, and the reason it's following that is because the sidereal rotation period for Jupiter is 9 hours, 55 minutes, and 30 seconds. And the book of Revelation is about the return of Jesus. And of course, Jupiter is the king of the planets. So that's our Revelation reference. The 69th moon is on 12/11/2019, and the full moon, the moon hits the 69th ecliptic longitude at 4:43 a.m. on December 11th, 2019. And as you can see, when it hits the 69th ecliptic longitude, it's in direct conjunction with Taurus's left eye, and that's the star Ain. I think that's important because Ain, France, is the location of a large portion of the CERN Hadron Collider. I'll have to look more into that, but I think that's one of the references here as well. Continuing on here, this is the earthquake in Revelation 6:12 rituals to McCormick Place in Chicago. The Georgia Guidestones were completed on 3/22/1980. That was the 6th day of the 12th week of 1980 for Revelation 6:12. And we have Thales of Miletus. He is credited with beginning the study of earthquakes in 585 BC. Another important number in regards to earthquakes. And if you go from the Georgia Guidestones to McCormick Place in Chicago, it's exactly 585 miles for earthquake reference. And getting back to the Google map distances I showed you at the beginning, Lincoln City to Lincoln Memorial, this is 3,898 kilometers. Put that into the number calculator. The sum of divisors is 5,850, and without the zero we have the 585, our earthquake reference. Then we have Lincoln City to McCormick Place. That's a distance of 2,944 kilometers. Sum of divisors of 6,120, and without the zero we have 612, back to our reference to the great earthquake in Revelation 6:12. And the key to this, I believe, is the return from distance from the Lincoln Memorial to McCormick Place in Chicago. Again, we have our 955. It's 955 kilometers. The time ritual portion for the 955 in Revelation, 1555 is the 955th minute of the day. And from midnight to 1555, the minute hand moves a total of 5,730 degrees. If you convert that to days and add 5,730 days to 9/11/2001, that gets us to May 20th, 2017. And that date leaves 955 days to December 31st, 2019. There are 404 total verses in Revelation. And if you add 404 minutes to 9:11 a.m., that gets you to 1555, the 955th minute of the day. This is the April 8th, 2024 eclipse that would form an X over Carbondale, Illinois with the Great American Eclipse. If you go from 9/11/2001 to April 8th, 2024, it's a total span of 1,178 weeks. This is a reference to the lunation number 1178 that began on March 17th, 2018. The new moon began at 8:11 a.m. Central Time. You can see here lunation 1178, March 17th at 8:11 a.m. Central Time. Another reference to Wormwood and Revelation. And if you go from March 17th, 2018 to December 31st, 2019, this is 654 days. And if you look at this as a time on the clock, the 654th minute of the day is 10:54. That's also the same number of U.S. nuclear tests, 1054. 1231 is a 202nd prime number. And Revelation 8:11 is the 141st verse of Revelation. So if we add 202 verses to Revelation 8:11, that gets us to Revelation 22, which is the 343rd verse. And the prime factorization of 955 is 5 times 191, the third and 43rd prime number, back to the 343. October 12th, 2017 was 811 days before December 31st, 2019. And we got this story that an asteroid called TC4 passed within 277,000 kilometers away from the Earth at 2:19 p.m. Central Time, which is 1919 Universal Time. And this asteroid was supposedly used to test the global defense system against asteroids, which was a ritual to the falling Wormwood star from Revelation 8:11 once again. Recently here, on March 1st, 2018, Russia released a video of its ultimate nuclear weapon striking Florida. March 1st, 2018 was the first day of the Roman calendar. And from March 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2019 is 95 weeks and 5 days, back to the 955. And then before President Trump came into office, President Obama gave his farewell address at McCormick Place in Chicago on January 10th, 2017. And January 10th, 2017 to December 31st, 2019 is exactly 155 weeks. And this matches the gematria, the Hebrew gematria of Wormwood, which is 155. Another ritual to Wormwood, the Wormwood event in Chicago. Going back here, this is a view from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and this is where Martin Luther King gave his I Have a Dream speech. And McCormick Place in Chicago. The reason that's significant is the West Street adjacent to McCormick Place is Martin Luther King Drive, which links McCormick Place and the Lincoln Memorial together in this puzzle as well. This is not everything I have on 12/31/2019. This is just to get it started, to get the date out there. I have lots more to show about the event I believe that will start Revelation, the event that kicks off Revelation, what that will be. I'll be able to put out some smaller videos just showing what I think these other events that lead up to Revelation will be. And the reason it took so long for me to get this part 3 video out, I had to wait for a couple dates to pass to kind of confirm that this 12/31/2019 date is a significant date. And I'll show you guys that in another video as well. But to make sure that there's a legitimate connection to Revelation and these time-coded rituals, I just had to kind of wait this out to make sure I was really onto something. So still consider this a work in progress. And I'll have some more videos out for you shortly. Thanks for watching.